boys and girls, and welcome to Grammy's Corner Club, where we sing songs, we have stories, have a skit, some jokes, and we just have an all-around good time. So let's get started. Let's see who's here today. This is Grammy's Magic Kaleidoscope, and I like to look in here and I see boys and girls from everywhere. Do you know there are boys and girls in here that are from Florida? There's some of you that are in Alabama, some of you are in Tennessee, and some of you are right here in Pennsylvania where Grammy lives, or New Jersey and New York. Wow! If I didn't say where you're from and you're visiting Grammy's Corner Club today, why don't you let us know? We're super glad to have you.
Sounds like everybody's here, Grammy.
Yes, it sure does, Sunny. Remember, Sunny joined us last week, and you came back.
I had a good time.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time and you came back today. Remember, Sunny last week had some funny knock-knock jokes, didn't you, Sunny?
I have another one. Do you want to hear my knock-knock joke?
Yeah, I think I do. I like knock-knock jokes. How about you, boys and girls?
Okay. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Lena.
Lena? Lena who?
Lean a little closer and I'll tell you another joke.
Oh, that's a good one, Sunny. Want to tell us another one?
Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Quiche.
Quiche? Quiche who?
Can I give you a hug and a kiss?
Aw, yes you can. Oh, thank you very much. That was very nice. I appreciated that. Hey, I have a knock-knock joke for you. Would you like to hear mine?
Uh-huh.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
What?
Wow, who?
What are you up to?
You're funny, Grammy. I had a good time this week. I made a new friend.
Oh, that's right. We talked about making friends last week. About turning strangers into friends, didn't we?
Uh-huh. I met my next door neighbor.
Oh, what's her name?
Molly.
Molly. What a nice name. And what do you do with Molly?
We like to color. We both want to be artists when we grow up.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
And I made you a picture, Grammy.
You did? Oh, for me? Thank you. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at this picture that Sunny colored. That's really a good job. One thing I do wonder about though, Sunny.
What?
Why does the beach ball have a big X in it?
Oh, that Frankie. I don't like him. Boys.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound very nice. Why don't you like Frankie?
Because he always gets in the way. He's a pest.
Oh, boy. How did you meet Frankie?
He's Molly's little brother. He's 4 years old. He's always in the way.
Oh, why is he always in the way?
When we color, he comes and draws on our papers and won't leave us alone.
Oh, I can see where that would be upsetting. But you know what I'm thinking? Do you think that maybe Frankie was feeling a little bit left out?
Oh, I didn't think about that. But I think you're right.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to color too.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what I think maybe you could do next time?
What?
How about if you shared your coloring pencils and your crayons and give him a coloring sheet and he can color too? That would keep him out of your way, but he could also be a part of your fun.
Oh, okay. I'll do that next time, Grammy. That sounds like a good idea. Well, I'm gonna go back and color some more. Bye, boys and girls.
Bye, Sonny. Well, Sonny learned a valuable lesson that sometimes people feel left out and we need to include them too, and we need to be kind. Do you know there's a Bible verse that says to be kind to one another, be tenderhearted too, and be kind to one another just like Jesus is to us. Well, this is a song, and the song talks about being kind to one another in everything you do and forgiving one another just as Christ has forgiven you. So it goes like this. Grammy's going to sing it, and then I'd like for you to try to sing it with me. If you already know it, why don't you sing along? And you see these little red music notes down here? That's where we get to whistle. Can you whistle, boys and girls? Just try, all right? Okay, if not, you can just hum right there. Be ye kind to one another, be tender-hearted too. Be kind to one another in everything you do. Just follow Christ's example, be loving, kind, and true. Forgiving one another as God has forgiven you. All right, now try it with me, boys and girls. Be kind to one another, be tender-hearted too. Be kind to one another in everything you do. Just follow Christ's example, be loving, kind, and true. Forgiving one another as God has forgiven you. Great. I think we'll be working on that some more so we can learn it. That's a good way for us to learn the Bible too. So think about that this week. Be kind to one another. Maybe it is your brother that you need to be kind to, or your sister this week, and let them play or color with you also and share. So that's just some good lessons for us to learn. Now, are you ready for a quiz? We have a quiz this week, and I think you kids are pretty smart. So here's what I want you to do. First of all, you need to put on your thinking caps. So get your thinking caps on, put them on, tie the bow under your neck. Good, got them on? Second, it says rev your engine. Got your engine going. Good job. Okay, our engines are revved. Our thinking caps are on. And I have a quiz for you. It has 5 questions. For each one, you get 20 points. All right, here is the first quiz question. Are you ready? Applesauce was the first food eaten by A, astronauts, B, babies, C, sick people, D, Johnny Appleseed. A, astronauts. Astronauts ate applesauce. That was the first food that was eaten by astronauts. So if you said that, give yourself 20 points. Yay! All right, second question. Before 1913, parents could mail their kids to grandma's through the postal service. Is that true or false? What do you think? It's true. Yes, it's true. Grandma and Grandpa, they could mail you to Grandma and Grandpa's house. How about that? In fact, there was a child they put stamps on, and the postman took them to Grandma's house. Hey, I'd like that if some of you come to Grandma's house. All right, number 3. A sneeze is faster than A, 10 miles per hour, B, 25 miles per hour? C, 100 miles per hour? C. If you said C, give yourself another 20 points. 100 miles per hour. Good. Number 4. If a donkey and a zebra have a baby, it is called a zonkey. Is that true or false? It's true. If you said true, give yourself 20 points for the zonkey. And here's the last trivia question, 5. All babies are born with brown eyes. True or false? False. All babies are born with blue eyes. Now you know. So if you got all of those correct, give yourself 100 points. All right, everybody jump up, jump around as many times as you want. Great, have a seat. Now, don't take off your thinking caps. I hope you still have your thinking caps on. You still have your thinking caps on? Because I have jokes from the joke jar. Now, I have some really good ones this week. Just a few. Now, remember, you want to tell this to Dad or Mom and see if you can trick them up. What do you call a cow that eats your grass? A lawnmower. What do you call a baby bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. Those of you that like teddy bears will like that one. What do you call a sleeping bull? What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. And that's a funny one. One more funny animal joke. What do you call a pig who knows karate? Pork chop, of course. All right. Now you have some good ammunition to share with your parents. Okay. Now you know what the next thing is that we do. It's time for story time. And we've been reading the story of Jeremy, the Tale of an Honest Bunny. And he is traveling to America. He's going to where? Do you remember where in America? He needs to get to North Carolina and to a girl named Candace Freeland. But he's not there yet. He's been traveling. So this chapter is called Setting Up Housekeeping. Mr. Pig thought it best to leave the bunnies asleep in his hat, and so he very tenderly placed it in the farthest curve of the tree's warm, dark hollow. "Oh my," said Jeremy, "that's too fine a hat to leave in a tree. I can make them a lovely bed with my jacket." "Well, now, that's a good thought. But, you see, they've had enough change for a while, and they've snuggled right in it like it was home." Home. Jeremy liked that word. "When they're up and out on their own," said the old man, "I'll come and fetch my hat, and a sight better it'll be for the wearer." "I can't stay long," said Jeremy, "but I'll see to their first night or so and help them find their tea in the morning." "Oh, that's a good lad. Well, I'll just be going along now, but to tell the truth," Mr. Pig patted his gray head, "I feel part of me is missing." Jeremy looked up at the kindly man with the wrinkled face. Excuse me, sir. Which way is North Carolina?" Mr. Pig thought hard. He stood on one foot. Then he stood on the other. He scratched his head. He cleared his throat. And then he pointed. "That way," he said firmly, and set off through the meadow, looking back twice to wave. Right away, Jeremy made himself busy. He dug up small tufts of moss and stuffed them in his jacket pocket to line the floor of the tree hollow. He had put down only 3 fine tufts when 2 bright eyes peered over the old brim hat. "Hello," said Jeremy.
Hello yourself,
Said a wee little voice.
what's your name?
Asked Jeremy.
Hazel.
Said the baby rabbit. The other baby rabbit popped up beside Hazel.
I'm Percy. Who are you?
They wanted to know.
Jeremy. Is that a name?
Hazel wondered.
Indeed it is. How do you like your new home?
4 bright eyes looked around the cozy hollow.
Are there any dogs here?
No dogs, promised Jeremy.
Are there any owls here?
Well, said Jeremy. He'd quite forgotten about Benchley, whatever his name was. He peered up into the tree anxiously.
Are you home, Mr. Benchley?
He didn't dare say Chuck, but there was no answer. After all noon, the bunnies played near the tree, finding delicious nibbles in the grass and sweet heads of clover.
Yup, 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 yup,
Squealed Hazel, while Jeremy finished laying his thick moss carpet. The owl thought Jeremy would be happy to rent in his tree in exchange for the buttons. Besides, he would pull the thread out of his vest so neatly that no one could guess Buttons had ever been there. He knew Lydia would not mind him doing this. After all, it was for the bunnies. As dusk came, the bunnies were weary from play and enormously satisfied with their scrumptious feast of forget-me-nots, clover, bluets, and buttercups. They popped back into their hat, and Jeremy told them a story about his trip across the great water, how he had lived in the captain's quarters, and he was treated to all the finest scraps, including melon rinds and cabbage, the little crate that had been his home and had rocked him like a cradle as the boat sailed the foaming waves. The very moment Jeremy finished his tale, Hazel peered over the hat brim.
I want my mama,
she said. A big tear rolled down her whiskers. Up bobbed Percy, his nose quivering.
I want my mama. We want our mama,
they cried together. Oh dear, said Jeremy, who began rocking the hat.
we want our mama.
They cried even louder, and Jeremy rocked even harder. What in the dickens is going on down there? Came a booming voice. The crying stopped at once. The hair stood up on Jeremy's neck. Oh, we're just settling in, he squeaked. Settling in? Is that the jack-leg rabbit who holed up down here this afternoon? One and the same, Jeremy said, still squeaking. Dadgummit, what does a critter have to do to get some rest in his own tree? And who's that doing all that bawling?
It's me, Hazel,
Said Hazel, sniffling.
and me, Percy.
Said Percy, also sniffling. Jeremy screwed up his courage. Their mother is indisposed for a time, and they need a home. Everybody needs a home, said the owl grumpily. See the picture of the owl looking at the baby rabbits? That'd be kind of scary, wouldn't it? This is the perfect home for Hazel and Percy. I'll pay you to let them stay here. Pay me with what? Buttons. Buttons? You're kidding me. Seriously, said Jeremy. Could you look down here a moment? He would just take off his vest and hold it as high as he could so the owl could see the fine silver buttons. Suddenly, the owl flew down into the hollow, his great wings flapping. The bunnies shrieked with horror. Jeremy felt every hair on his body stand bolt upright. "Oh, hush," said the owl to the bunnies. "I'm harmless. I haven't eaten a bunny in ages, and I don't intend to. I've developed rather a taste for—" "Shh," said Jeremy. "Don't say that sort of thing in front of—" "Hershey bars," finished the owl. Jeremy and the bunnies sighed with relief.
"I like your big wings," said Hazel. "I like your legs," said Percy. "Fluffy."
"Why, thanks," said Chuck, looking pleased. By the time Jeremy awoke, the sun had climbed above the trees. Chuck had told bedtime stories until the wee hours, and everyone had giggled and laughed till they fell asleep, which was very late indeed. In fact, Chuck had invited them all to stay in the tree as long as they cared to, since he only used the top limbs anyway. Leaving the bunnies still sleeping, Jeremy crept out to the dew-kissed meadow. Oh, but it was a dazzling day. A day that would be perfect for going to North Carolina. But if he left the bunnies now, there was no telling what might happen. If they started missing their mama again, they could drown in their own tears. And he didn't think Chuck was exactly the fatherly type. He knew he couldn't go to Candace today. Yet what would Lydia think of him for such a long delay? She had, after all, made him to be an honest bunny, and she had asked him to hurry. While he thought deeply on this troubling matter, something stirred in the grass. He sat quite still. Only his whiskers twitched. You see us right there standing, his whiskers are twitching. Wonder what that sound is. I don't know. You'll have to come back next week to find out what happens to Jeremy and what is that noise that he hears. All right, boys and girls, that was a great story. And before we go, I have a science experiment that I want to do with you and that you can do yourself. I'm going to show you what you need to make your own homemade lava lamp. You need some oil, some fizzy tablets, and these happen to be denture cleansing tablets that I got at Dollar Tree for $1. And you're going to need some food coloring. And one more thing we're going to need. We need a glass with some water in it. Okay, so just a little bit of water because we're going to have water and we're going to put the oil in the glass. And let's see what happens. So here's my fizzy tablet that I've already taken out. Put a little bit of water in your glass. I got this at Dollar Tree too, so maybe you can find something like that. And then you're going to almost fill this up with the oil. All right, we're going to leave about 1 inch at the top there. All right, now we're going to take out some colors. This is food coloring. They come in these cute little bottles. Now, how many of you know that if you mix the colors, you can get another color? If I mix blue or red and yellow, I can get orange. Red and blue, I can get purple. You're right. Okay, so I think that's what I'd like to do. I think I'd like to do purple. So I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 or so drops. See the drops going down of the red? And then I'm going to add some blue to make my purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you can kind of play around with it. Depends on the size of container that you use. All right, now here comes the magic. Drop in our fizzy tablet. And let's see what starts to happen. There it goes. It's starting to make little bubbles that are going up and they're fizzling, fizzling, fizzling. Ooh. My purple looks kind of dark. Maybe I shouldn't have put so much blue in. But you can do any color. And one of the sites I saw said you could also put sparkles, like little glitter in there. That's another fun thing. Or you could get those glow sticks, and with mom and dad's supervision, remember when you do this, please do with mom and dad's supervision, okay? And you can also take that and you could put some of that neon stuff in it, and it makes it glow in the dark. So there's all kinds of fun ways to do this, but look at that. Isn't that cool? Wow. So now we have our own fun lava lamp. I hope you enjoy this, and you can try this week and let me know how it goes for you, all right? Okay, I've had a lot of fun with you today. I hope you've had a good time, and you'll come back next week. Bye, boys and girls. See you soon.